Well, hello all you wonderful people out there in YouTube land, and welcome to the Texas Special YouTube channel. And for this final November 2025 O-Gauge product review, we're going to take a look at this Lionel number 6-16795 Elf and Rudolph Animated Gondola. So, this is a really cool little car. Let's get it out of the box. Once you remove the box, you have this plastic cradle. Simply separate the two halves. There's no locking tabs or anything. And then you just pull the car out and set it on the track. Now, this is, as I said, an animated car. So these little figures here, they chase each other around this load of toys, which is meant to conceal the mechanism that actually makes these guys move. So if I unlock my camera here, if we look at the underside of the car, you'll see that there's this little worm gear and drive gear here. Now, as the car goes down the track, the worm gear engages this drive gear, and that's what causes the little figures to chase each other around that toy load. While we're down here on the underside of the car, you can see there is some underframe detailing. You got some rivet detailing, you got some cross bracing, the center sill of the car. You have the metal wheels, magnetic operating knuckle couplers. These little discs here are meant to work with a Lionel uncoupling track section or similar product. The electromagnet on that energizes and causes this disc to be pulled down, which opens up the knuckle. Now, if you do not have a Lionel magnetic uncoupling track section or similar product, you have this little tab here on the side of the coupler body. If you push down on it manually, that causes the knuckle to open. So this car is of plastic construction all the way throughout, with the exception of the wheels and the couplers. I take that back, the wheels. The couplers, trucks, body, load, figures, all that is plastic construction. This car is meant to operate on curvature as tight as 0.27. So what that means for any two railers that may or may not be watching, or people that are new to the hobby of O-Gauge trains and are unfamiliar with the way we do things, three railers are different in so many ways. But in this instance, we measure the curvature of track in terms of circumference. Now, of course, if you remember from elementary school, circumference is the measurement of the width of a circle all the way across at the widest point. The two rail guys like to do radius, so from the halfway point of a circle out, or halfway across a circle. So what that means is this car can operate on curvature as tight as 27-inch circumference. So a circle 27 inches wide of track this car can operate on. For you two rail guys, that's 13.5 inches. The lettering on this car is outstanding. You can read everything clearly. There are no real reporting marks or load or weight capacity information. This is a straight up holiday Christmas toy train. So there are no, loaded weight or lightweight or anything like that markings on the car. There's no declarations of any kind. You can see the Happy Holidays 99, so this car is from the 1999 catalog, and you can see they're built 1999 by Lionel. You have these cast-on grab irons here. You have loads of rivet detailing throughout the car. You have cast-on grab irons, full height grab irons here. This car is patterned after a drop-in type gondola. If we look at the B end here, you can see the little locking mechanisms here in the top corners. Again, this is modeled after a drop end type gondola, so what that means is on the prototype this end would actually drop back into the car. You have polling pockets in the corners of the car. You have this nice dreadnought ends, and this is the B end of the car that we're looking at here. So we'll rotate the car just around a little bit more so you can actually see there is the separately applied handbrake. This is a really cool little car, and I have the Santa Flyer still on the railroad. As I said, this thing's meant for 027 curves. So the 072 curves of the South Texas Railroad's Main Track 1 should be an absolute breeze for this car. We're going to couple it up to the train I have standing there on Main 1 and see how this guy performs. Quick caveat, and I've meant to say this earlier in earlier product reviews. When I do these review runs, it serves two purposes. So you can see the car actually running around on the track, not just stationary in front of the camera at awkward angles. And the second thing is car performance. Now, some of you might be scratching your head saying, car performance, it's a freight car, or a passenger car, whatever. What's it going to do? I'm not necessarily concerned with what the car is doing and how it looks. It's I try to put these cars when I review them as close to the head end of a train. That way you can see how it performs with the maximum amount of buff and draft forces that how it handles. If the knuckles pop open, if it's prone to derailing, if it stays on the track, if it runs just fine, that type of thing. So real quick, buff forces are when the train bumps together, when it comes together. That's the buff forces. We're going a little prototypical jargon here for you folks. So buff forces cause the train to do this, to bump together. When you hear a train stop and the slack rolls in, or when they're making a joint, that's buff. Draft forces are when the train does this, when it stretches. So with O-gauge trains, especially your MPC era model trains that have plastic coupler pins, or some of your lower end, more budget friendly cars, even some of the higher end scale cars, the pins can be weak, they can be defective. The knuckles tend to pop open sometimes, which, I mean, is not a big deal. It's an easy fix. Either you swap out the trucks or you glue the knuckles shut. But that's why I do the review runs. So I'm gonna shut up, we'll get this thing coupled up, and we'll send it around the track.